5 months ago, Google Gemini looked like it was about to take control of the AI race. Then something changed. Gemini 3.1 Pro launched in February and immediately reached the top of the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, leading 6 of its 10 evaluations and outperforming major competitors in several reasoning and coding tests. But today, the conversation is very different. Google has been struggling to deliver its next flagship model, Gemini 3.5 Pro, while competitors continue releasing new systems and improving their position. So, what actually happened to Gemini? Welcome to DAMISICOTECH, where we simplify the biggest AI breakthroughs, explore the future of technology, and uncover the opportunities hidden behind the AI revolution. In this video, we're going to look beyond benchmark scores and find out why Google's AI momentum appears to have slowed and why this could matter for the entire AI industry. The first problem is simple: speed. AI has become a race where being excellent isn't enough. You also have to keep moving. When Gemini 3.1 Pro arrived in February, Google had a powerful moment. Artificial analysis ranked it number one on its intelligence index, with major gains in reasoning, coding, knowledge, and hallucination reduction. But the advantage didn't last forever. While Google worked toward its next major release, competitors kept shipping. Anthropic, OpenAI, and other AI labs continued pushing new models into the market. And by July, Reuters reported that Gemini 3.5 Pro was still delayed after underperforming on important coding tasks. Google had already released several lighter Gemini models, but the flagship remained in testing. That creates a dangerous problem. Imagine winning a Formula One race and then spending months rebuilding your engine while everyone else keeps driving. Even if your next car is faster, you've already lost valuable track time. And that's essentially what happened to Gemini's public momentum. But here's where it gets more interesting. The delay may not simply be Google moving slowly. Reports suggest Google DeepMind encountered technical problems with the next generation, particularly around reliability and coding performance. Instead of releasing something that wasn't ready, Google appears to have chosen to keep working on it. From an engineering perspective, that's understandable. From a competitive perspective, it's expensive because every month Google waits, competitors get another opportunity to capture developers, businesses, and users. And in AI, developers are incredibly important. If a developer builds an application around one model today, switching to another model tomorrow isn't always effortless. The APIs, workflows, prompts, tools, and infrastructure can become deeply integrated. So, releasing consistently isn't just about headlines, it's about becoming part of the ecosystem. And that brings us to Google's second problem: talent. In June, Google DeepMind lost two extremely high-profile researchers within days. Noam Shazier, a co-author of the foundational Transformer paper and a Gemini leader, announced he was leaving for OpenAI. Then, John Jumper, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist known for AlphaFold, announced his move to Anthropic. Reports subsequently indicated that two more Gemini contributors, Jonas Adler and Alexander Pritzel, were also preparing to leave for Anthropic. Now, losing a few researchers doesn't mean Google suddenly loses its AI capability. Google still has one of the deepest AI research organizations in the world, but the timing matters because the AI race isn't only about computing power. It's about people who know how to turn that computing power into breakthroughs. And when experienced researchers move to competitors, they take knowledge, experience, and relationships with them. That's why the AI talent war has become almost as important as the model war. But there's a surprising twist. Despite Gemini's benchmark problems, Google may actually have one of the strongest AI distribution advantages in the industry. The Gemini app surpassed 900 million monthly users earlier this year and then crossed 1 billion monthly users in August. Google calls it one of its fastest growing products ever. Think about what that means. Google doesn't need to convince a billion people to download an entirely unknown AI product. Gemini is already connected to Google's ecosystem: Search, Android, Chrome, Gmail, YouTube, Maps, Workspace. That distribution is incredibly difficult for competitors to reproduce. And Google has another major advantage. Apple chose Google's Gemini models as the foundation for its next generation of Apple intelligence features, including a more personalized Siri. The agreement is multi-year and gives Gemini access to Apple's enormous device ecosystem. So here is the paradox. Gemini may be losing the benchmark race while winning the distribution race, and that's a very important distinction. A model can be number one on a leaderboard and still fail commercially. Another model can rank lower but become embedded inside hundreds of millions of products. That's why Google's biggest AI challenge may not be becoming the smartest company. It may be maintaining enough innovation speed to keep its distribution advantage relevant. And this is where the opportunity appears. If you're building a business around AI, don't focus only on which model is number one today. The bigger opportunity is learning how to work across models. Build AI automation systems that can switch between providers, learn APIs, learn agentic workflows, understand prompt engineering, tool calling, data integration, and AI automation. Because the companies that survive the AI race may not be the ones loyal to one model, they'll be the ones flexible enough to use whichever model performs best. And that's a huge opportunity for freelancers, consultants, and developers. Businesses don't necessarily need someone who can tell them Gemini is better than ChatGPT. They need someone who can say, here's your problem, here's the AI system that solves it, and here's how we automate the process. That's where AI becomes a business tool instead of just a chatbot. So, what actually happened to Gemini? The evidence doesn't suggest that Google suddenly became incapable of building great AI. In fact, Gemini 3.1 Pro proved the opposite. The bigger problem is momentum. Google demonstrated that it could reach the top, but the AI industry doesn't wait for yesterday's winner. Competitors continue releasing models while Google's flagship was delayed. Technical challenges slowed the next generation. High profile researchers left, and the public conversation shifted toward competitors. Yet at the same time, Google's distribution exploded. Gemini reached 1 billion monthly users, and Apple selected Google's technology for its next generation AI foundation. So Google isn't disappearing from AI, far from it. The real battle is now about whether Google can convert its enormous distribution advantage back into sustained technological leadership. And that's the part I'm watching most closely. Because if Gemini 3.5 Pro eventually arrives and delivers a major leap, Google could regain momentum extremely quickly. But if competitors continue releasing better models while Google remains stuck in long development cycles, the gap could become harder to close. And for everyone watching the AI revolution, there's a lesson here. Don't confuse a temporary leaderboard position with permanent leadership. AI changes too quickly. The winner today may not be the winner 6 months from now. And the smartest opportunity isn't simply predicting which company wins, it's positioning yourself to benefit regardless of who wins. Learn the tools, learn automation, learn how businesses can apply AI, build skills that transfer across platforms, because when the models change and the people who understand the underlying opportunity will still be valuable. At DAMISICOTECH, every breakthrough is more than just news, it's your next opportunity. We don't just follow technology, we help you turn technology into opportunity. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, subscribe to DAMISICOTECH, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone following the AI race. And tell me in the comments, has Google actually lost the AI race, or is Gemini simply preparing for its next comeback? For more AI news, tools, opportunities, and future technology, join our Telegram and WhatsApp communities because the AI race isn't over. It may only be entering its most interesting phase.